go into the unseen. We try to get some of the indication from the Quran. It was narrated in the story of Al-Masih Isa alayhi salam, peace be upon him, that Allah the Almighty said to his mother Maryam, and shake the thrub of the tree, and it will bring down some dates and eat and drink. And if somebody sees you, say that you have fasted and you will not talk to a human being. So some people said that there's an indication of the birth of Al-Masih, that is Isa alayhi salam. It was in the summertime, and he did this because the dates or the palm trees, they usually have their fruits in the summer. So they indicated that there's an indication that he alayhi salam was born in the summertime, at the time when the dates are cultivated and they could be collected. But others say, they reply, he said no, it has nothing to do with the normal laws, because this is the miracles of Allah, so there is no wonder that it could be cultivated in the winter. Just like Allah has made Isa to speak when he's an infant, and he made his mother and gave her the sustenance with no normal reason that we know. Every time Zakaria entered her room, he found sustenance, some fruits from the summer and the winter time, and vice versa. And she said, this is sustenance from Allah. He gives whomever he wish with no accountability. So all of these are abnormal gifts from Allah Azza wa Jalla. And so is the birth of Isa alayhi salam. And he was born with no father. Allah said that the example of Isa, just like Adam, he created from dust, and he said be, and he was. So the talk of Isa alayhi salam when he was an infant, it is something that a miracle, because this is not normal for kids to speak when they are an infant. And Allah want to purify the truthful, the Virgin Maryam, peace be upon her, that Allah Azza wa Jal gave her honesty as the Quran to be recited until the end of time. Because Allah said, and Maryam, the daughter of Imran, that protected her private part, means she did not commit any adultery, and she believed in Allah's words and His books, and she was among the righteous, the pious. So when he was born, really it don't make any difference, because it's not going to benefit anything, nor will decrease anything from our deeds with Allah Azza wa Jal. What's important in our gathering here, that we want to talk about Isa alayhi salam himself. Imagine billions of people enter the hellfire because of their asri of Al-Masih. Those who claim that Isa is the son of Allah, or Allah is one out of three, and they are in the billions who believe in that. They are nothing in belief in anything, and they cannot be protected from the punishment of Allah. There is no joke in here. Billions of people will enter hellfire because of their accusation of Isa alayhi salam. And Allah Azza wa Jal described that story in details, and made for the tribe he's from surah is Al-Umran, and for his mother Maryam a surah under that name. Do you know that the only female that is mentioned in the Quran is Maryam? There is no woman was mentioned by her name in the Quran. Either they will be with their nicknames, the wife of Al Aziz, the wife of Fir'aun, of the wife of Nuh, wife of Lut, but no woman was mentioned by her name except for Maryam, peace be upon her. And, and this is something that the whole surah is mentioned after her. Isa alayhi salam was mentioned 25 times in the Quran, and his mother was mentioned in the Quran 34 times. 23 times of them it is with Isa alayhi salam, that Isa son of Maryam, and 11 times individually with no mention of Isa alayhi salam. The Quran has paid attention to this and made it in details, intentional details in the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. You find this in Surah Al-Ma'idah and Surah Maryam and in Tahrim and different areas in the book of Allah, where Allah gives the story in details. So He will show us how we will not go out of confusion, out of the astray that happened, those who fell from the previous nations. This confusion and not knowing the truth and not be guided to it, but the anger of Allah deserves the person who knew the truth and he stay away from it. There is people who are Allah is angry at because they knew the truth and they still insist on being astray. But the ones who are astray, they do not know the truth for whatever reason. But those who knew the truth and they still insist on being on the wrong path, these deserve the anger of Allah. So the one that Allah is angry at, not only the Jews, it's the Jews and others who knew the truth and they did not stay with the truth. Ameen. Ameen. Let's start with the talk about the pure, the righteous, the pious Maryam, peace be upon her, where Allah Azza wa Jal descended a surah under her name, and her protection of her private part is something narrated in the Quran, and every Muslim, east and left, still worship Allah with recitation of this. Allah said, and mentioned in the book Maryam. Mentioned in the book Maryam. No woman was mentioned in the book of Allah except Maryam. When she took an eastern place from her family, like she stayed away from her family to the east, and we stay there because the Sunnah did not give us details beyond that. Allah has chosen this family, this honored family, Al-Imran, that made Maryam, who brought Isa, peace be upon him. And Allah gave her sister, the wife of Zakaria, who had another she married Zakaria, who had John or Yahya. So Yahya and Isa alayhi salam, they are cousins. Allah chose Adam and Nuh and Al-Imran on people. They are offspring out of each other, and Allah is more hearer, knowledgeable. Allah talked to us about the birth of Maryam, where the daughter of Imran, she said, "Oh Allah, I'm given what I have in my womb purely for you, to worship you only, Allah." Like she will not worship anything beside you, Allah. She wanted what she had in her womb to be dedicated to Allah's worship only. So when she brought it, she said, I had a female, and Allah knows what she got. and the male is not like a female. And this is in the holding the da'wah and taking the responsibilities. There's no preference between men and women or between any humans except piety. Allah said the best among you is your pious. But when we're talking about struggle and to have responsibility, the male is not like the female. Allah said, all humans we have created from males and females, and we made you different nations and tribes so you could know each other. And the wife of Imran, when she had that baby, she called her Maryam. And she asked Allah to protect her and her offspring from the devil. She said, I seek your refuge, O Allah, from the shaitan. And Allah answered her prayer, so He protected her and her offspring from the shaitan. Every born cry when he is born except Isa, peace be upon him. And the hadith of Abu Hurairah, he said, I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, no son of Adam who is born except the shaitan will touch him when he's born. Then he starts crying out of what the shaitan did, except for Maryam and her son, Isa. And then what I said, what the wife of Umran said, oh Allah, I seek your refuge for my daughter Maryam and her offspring from the shaitan. And another narration that the shaitan hit every newborn who makes him cry except the son of Maryam and his mother Maryam. And in the hadith of in the Bukhari, all sons of Adam, the shaitan hit him with his fingers on his side except Isa. So when he tried, he could not, he got the veil, so he could not touch him. And after the birth of Maryam, those who worship Allah, they disputed about who's going to be honored to adopt her, who's going to take care of her. And this indicates of the high status that she had, and that family had as distinguished family, where people are fighting to see who's going to take care of Maryam. Allah said, this is from the news of the unseen that we are inspired to you. You weren't around them when they were taking their chance who's going to adopt Maryam, and you don't know when they were disputed. And every time they choose, it comes on Zakaria, peace be on him. And Allah said that He allowed Zakaria to adopt her or to take care of her, and this is a matter that Allah has decided. So he's the husband of her elder daughter. So Maryam lived in the household of her in-law Zakaria, and Allah gave her some sustenance that is not known to humans. Every time Zakaria entered there, he found some goodness, some good from Allah. So he asked her, oh Maryam, how did you get this? She said, it is from Allah. Allah gives sustenance to whomever He wish with no accountability. At that time, Zakaria felt anxious for a son, and his anxiousness never left him. But when he saw a son from Allah, the heart humbles to Allah and softens when you see the miracle of Allah. And it is a time to make dua, because Allah Azza wa Jalla will not accept from a heart that is unaware of Allah. If you find your heart present with Allah and being humble to Allah Azza wa Jalla, that is a time to ask Allah anything. So Zakaria, he saw a sign from Allah, that Allah showed him a sign from Him. When he saw that the fruits of the winter, it summertime and vice versa, when they didn't have no refrigeration, no way of doing it. This is when Zechariah called his Lord to give him the son. Allah said the mention of his slave Zechariah, who called his Lord low, slowly. He said, "Oh, I'm getting old and I'm getting weak, and was not miserable with your dua, and I was afraid my wife after me. So give me someone after me that he will inherit me." The prophets, they don't inherit money to their sons. They only inherit the knowledge of Allah. And he said he will inherit me, inherit from the people of Yaqub, the sons of Yaqub. And then Allah gave him the glad tidings that he's going to give him Yahya, John, that Allah did not have a name before him. Then you see the miracles of Allah on the hands of Maryam, who is distinguished. When the angel said, "Oh Maryam, Allah has chosen you and purified you and chose you again among all women, what is more honor than this?" I found the non-Muslims from the Christians, when the Quran honor Isa alayhi salam and his mother Maryam and the family of Isa. How would they have hatred to Islam when they found all the Muslims are honoring them? And they agree with those who accuse Maryam of committing adultery, and that he is a bastard man, that he was born from adultery. The Quran is saying that Allah is giving glad tidings to Maryam that his name is Al-Masih Isa, son of Maryam. And he said, among the distinguished in this life and in the hereafter, and from the close ones. And he talked to people as an infant, and when he grew up, and he's among the righteous. These are the medals that he received from Allah. This is the medal that Allah has honored in the Quran. And before that, there was medal to his mother and his family, Al Umran. When Allah said he chose the sons of Adam and Nuh and Ibrahim and Al Imran. This is an honor to the family of Maryam, peace be upon her. And then what came in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, who's saying in the Hadith, the best of women, Maryam, and then the best of women, meaning is Khadija, meaning at her time. She was the best among her generation. And the best of women of this nation is Khadija, peace be upon her. And Ibn Abbas, he said that the Prophet ﷺ, he put 4 lines in the ground. And they said, "Do you know what this is?" They said, "Allah and His Messenger knows." So he, alayhi salatu wasalam, said, the best of the women of Jannah is Khadija bint Khuwaylid, and Fatima, daughter of Muhammad, and Asiya bint Muzahim, the wife of Pharaoh, and Maryam, daughter of Imran. May Allah be pleased with all of them. And Maryam, she receives the perfection in faith with the witnessing of the Prophet ﷺ. In the hadith of Abu Musa, as agreed on Bukhari Muslim, a lot of men were complete, but from women only few, that Maryam was one of them, and the wife of Pharaoh. And Maryam did not get that status except because she was always dedicated herself to Allah, always humble herself to Allah. So the angel said, "Oh Maryam, worship your Lord and prostrate and make sujood and be among those who prostrate to Allah." Then Jibreel alayhi salam came to give her the glad tidings with this miracle child that Allah made him a sign to all humanities. Maryam stayed away from her tribe or family. She stayed away from them. Is it east of Jerusalem? Maybe. Allahu Alam. I have no proof. The rule from the news of the previous generations, there's no way you could know about it except from an inspiration from Allah. There's nothing of narration of this and that. The only thing that is left is the only source that we have for this history, or to know about the previous nations, that it has to be from the inspiration of Allah. Alayhi salatu wassalam. That's why Allah said, "These are the news of the unseen. We inspire to you. You didn't know it, neither you nor your people before that. So be patient. The reward is for those who are patient." And you were not among them when they were trying to see who's going to adopt Maryam, or when they were disputed. You knew this because of the inspiration of Allah. Allah did not tell you from the inspiration. This is what you know. And Allah Azza wa Jal sent to her Jibreel. Allah said, "We have sent to her our spirit, the Holy Spirit, which is Jibreel." And because Allah mentioned about Jibreel 7, when he stand and all the angels with him, and they don't talk except for those Allah gave them permission, and they say the truth. This is the day of truth. Whomever want to take way to his Lord, then he needs to take it now. So the angel Jibreel, he looked like a human being. So she was amazed or strange because she did not know men and she don't get used with them. So she started asking by Allah Almighty. She said, "I seek the merciful from me if you are biased, if you know Allah." So he said, "I am a messenger from your Lord to give you a man, a purified man. Don't worry, don't feel saddened. I am a messenger from your Lord to give you a glad tidings of a son." When the angel said to Maryam, "Allah is giving you a word from him. His name is Al-Masih, Isa, son of Maryam. He is among the distinguished in this life and in the hereafter among the closer ones. He speaks to people when he was young and among the righteous." And we said before that the word, it is the word be and it will be. In the Arabic, kun. And then Allah said, "And we has blow from our soul." What the difference between this and what Allah said about Adam? Because the blowing, it was from Allah, and the one who was doing it, Jibreel alayhi salam. But in the Surah of Adam, there was no angel with Allah Azza wa Jal. It was Allah who blew it, in a way that only Allah knows how it's done. And you can see the completion of Allah's power, where He is created Adam with no father or mother, and Eve with no mother, and Isa salam, he is with from Maryam with no father. So it'll be complete uh, the power of Allah. Allah create with reasons or uh, different causes or something opposite to it. Allah said, "Oh, the fire be cold and peaceful on Ibrahim." Allah does what He wish. If He wants to do something, what He don't do or what He cannot do, but who is the one who does what He wants is Allah. Solely Allah. He does whatever He wish. So Isa will talk to people when he's an infant. And it was a miracle. So will be when he talk when he's old, when he comes at the end of time. What the Rasul said that almost the time to have Isa ibn Maryam to come down as just, and he will break the cross and kill the pig, and he will not allow jizya and order only zakah, where the money will be abundance when nobody will take it. The Najashi, he knew Isa alayhi salam from his from his from the characters that he was described, like Salama said, when we went to Al-Habasha, we have the best welcomer and Najashi, where we were not fearful for our religion and we did not feel nothing we hated. When that reached Quraysh, they sent to Najashi two tough men, and to give him presents, where and the best that he used to get from Mecca is the leather. So they found him the best of leather, and they sent gifts for the Najashi and all his priests, because they want to influence them. And they sent that with Abdullah ibn Rabi' al-Makhzumi and Amr ibn al-As. And they ordered them, they told them, pay for each priest his before you give or before you reach al-Najashi. And then give the Najashi his presents, and then ask him. And then ask him to give you the people of the companions, because they don't want the Najashi to have a debate with them. So the purpose of this, so give us those that are wanted by Quraysh. So she said, so they came to Al-Najashi, and we were in good state. None of his priests, except that gave him his gift, and then he told every priest, and they said, we have some crazy people who left our area. They left the religion of their people. They did not go to your religion. And they came with an innovated religion. We don't know it, and you don't know it. And we sent the best of his people, so you could give it to them. So if we talk to the king, please advise him that he will give them to us, because we know more of their situation. Don't let the king enter a debate. Just so they said yes. Everyone had a gift. So when they brought their gift to Al-Najashi, he took it from them. Then they start talking to him. They said, "Oh, king, that some people who are wanted came from our town, who left their religion and did not enter your religion, and they came with innovated religion. We don't know it, and you don't know. And we sent to you our dignitaries so you could take them back because they are more liable for them and they know what the wrong they have done." And nothing was worse to Abdullah ibn Rabi'a and Amr ibn al-As that they don't want the Najashi to hear their word. So the priests, they said, "Yes, O king, their people know more about them. They know what is, so give that to them. Let them go back to their land." So the Najashi got angry. He said, "No, by Allah, I will not give it to them. I know people who came to be my neighbors. I came to my country. They chose me among others. I will not kick them until I talk to them and see what these people are talking about them. People who came and chose me among others. I'm not going to just, and I give them peace, I'm not going to give them away before I found out the truth. I need to listen from them. If they are saying like these two saying, I will give it to them back. And if they are not, I will stop them and I'll be good to them as long as they're with me." Then he went and called for the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. When they came, they gathered. And some of them they said, "What are you going to tell this man? This is a new calamity. He is calling us now. What shall we tell him? And we're not from his religion." He said, "By Allah, we will say what our Prophet ﷺ taught us and ordered us. Let happen what happen. Whatever happens, happens. What we have learned from the Prophet ﷺ, we'll say it. And whatever happens, happens." So when they came to him, and the Najashi asked all the priests to around, and they spread all their books. He said, "What is this religion that you left your people, and you did not enter my religion or anyone from here?" So the one who talked to him was Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, and he told him, "Oh, the king, we were people of ignorance. We used to worship the idols, and we used to eat the dead animal, and we do the adultery, and we kill people who are relatives, and the strong always eat the weak. And we were in this until Allah sent us a messenger. We know his status and his truthfulness and he called us to Allah to worship him alone and leave everything we used to worship, us and our forefathers before them, from idols. And he ordered us to say the truth and to give the trustful and to be good to our kins and to be good neighbors and to stay away from the killing." And then he ordered us to stay away from the killing of people or stealing, and told us to worship Allah and not to worship anyone else. So he told them all the Islam, and then we believed in him. So we worship Allah alone. We did not have martyrs with him, and we have forbidden what he forbid on us, and we permitted what he allowed us to have. So our people, they were our enemies, and they punished us, and they want to take us back to worship the idols over Allah, and to allow what we did of the ignorance. And when they oppressed us, and they gave us a hard time, and to save us from our religion, we came to you, we chose you among others, and we want to be close to you, and we were hoping that we will not oppress. So Al-Najashi said, do you have anything from what he wrote? He said, yeah, yes. And Najashi told him, okay, recite it on me. So he told him piece of the first part of Maryam. And he showed that surah because it had the story of Al-Masih Isa alayhi salam. Then he started crying until his beard was full of tears. And the priest also, they start crying until the books they have was full of tears. And he said, what happened between this and Musa, it came from the same source. So he told the other ones from Quraysh to go back, I will not give it to them. So when they left, Abdul As said, by Allah, I will tell them their flaws. So Abdullah ibn Rabi'ah, and he's most biased among us, he said don't do, because they have relatives. At the end we are family, don't harm them. Even if they did something to us, you should not be doing. He said, so he told, I will go and tell them that Isa, that they are claiming that he is a slave. So he said, I will go back and tell Najashi that the Muslims are claiming that he is a slave. So he said, oh king, they are saying to about Isa a great matter. So ask them so they can tell you what they are saying about him. And it says that when he came in, where we have nothing higher, so people gathered. So some of them said, what are you going to say about Isa if he asks about you? He said, we will tell what Allah said and what the Prophet ﷺ told, what happened, and let it happen whatever happened. We just say what we have learned. So when they entered, so what do you say about Isa, son of Maryam? Ja'far ibn Talib said, what our Prophet said, he is the slave of Allah and his messenger and his soul, and he is this word that he sent to Maryam, the virgin. So the Najashi helped on the, and he took one stick. He said, except for Isa. He said, this is exactly what Isa said about himself. You did not go beyond that. So all the priests, they start, did not like what he said. Then he told them, even if you are not like it, by Allah, go, you are safe in my land. Whomever curse you, he will be fine. And I don't like to have a mountain of gold and I hurt one of you. Then he said, take these people their gifts, we don't need it. Now listen to what he said, and listen to it very carefully. And he said, by Allah, Allah did not take the bribery when he gave me my, when there was a coup against him, Allah made him victorious and gave him his kingdom back. He said, Allah did not take the bribery when he gave me my, and I will not take the bribery for my kingdom. When Allah gave me my, like he's saying, like whenever he got his kingdom back after the coup, he did not give Allah a bribery, so he's not going to take a bribery. He said, what people obeyed me, I will obey him in Allah. Allah did not allow my enemies to do so. I will not allow the enemies of these people on them. So they left. Those two people from Quraysh, they were very humiliated leaving. So Muslim said that we had the best stay. Please have this part because it's very important for those who reside here. When there's political atmosphere, some people want to fight Najashi. And she said, by Allah, we not know any sadness, more sadness when someone tried to do a coup against him. We were afraid that someone will do that and another one will come in who will not give us our rights like Najashi did. So if the political climate change, a new ruler came in with a different agenda, what's going to happen to us as asylum seekers? So as Najashi and the companions of Prophet ﷺ, they said, who is going to go out? So as Zubair ibn Awam said, I will. And he was among the youngest. So they gave him something so he could swim, because there was the other side of the Nile. And they said, we ask Allah for Najashi to overcome his enemies. When you are supporting one of two competing sides, that is going to be more benefit to Muslims, even if he's not among the Muslims, and he's not. There's an evidence. So she's saying, and we ask Allah to Najashi to be victorious on his enemies, and to give him the power in his country. And when he overcame that coup, we were very pleasant state until we came back to the Prophet ﷺ when he was in Mecca. That talk about Isa, inshallah, will continue, inshallah, on Monday. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.
من أمهات العقائد وكبرياتها، أرجو أن نراجعها وأن نكون فيها على بصيرة بإذن الله. وأسأل الله لي ولكم التوفيق والسداد والرشاد. وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، وجزاكم الله.